Hey Collective, welcome back. I hope you're having a good day today. It's a gloomy, rainy day here, so I thought I'd sit down and film some videos. And while I've been away, I've been writing. And I've had a lot going on in life recently, and it got me to thinking about how exhausting it is to say you're fine every time someone asks. On paper, your life looks great. You're busy, productive, and you're always there for everyone. But behind the constant performance, behind the smiles and the fake "I'm fine," you're running on empty. If you feel like you're playing the part of a happy, well-adjusted person, but you're getting more and more tired of the role, this is for you. This isn't about having an occasional bad day. This is a slow, creeping tiredness that settles deep in your bones. It's the fatigue that comes from constantly holding up a mask, and that mask gets heavier every day. You're the dependable one, the strong friend, the high achiever who busts ass at work. Your social media is a perfectly curated gallery of your greatest hits. Trips, nights out with friends, accomplishments, and tidy successes. You look like you've got it all figured out. And in a world that celebrates the appearance of strength, you're basically winning. But here's a quiet truth that you can hide from everyone else, but not from me. That performance is draining the life right out of you. Listen, you're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're suppressing so much of what you actually feel. This video is for anyone who has ever answered, "I'm good, just busy," when what they really wanted to scream was, "I don't know how much longer I can keep this up." Let's be real about what this looks like. On the outside, your life is a masterclass in competence. Your calendar is packed. You hit your deadlines. You show up for birthdays. You always remember to ask other people how they're doing, and you actually listen, offering them support and encouragement. People probably admire how you handle stress. You make it look easy. Online, the story's even better. It's a highlight reel of your best moments. This isn't just a feeling. It's a documented phenomenon. A 2018 study found that more than half of millennials admit to making their relationship look happier online than it is in real life. That pressure bleeds into every corner of our lives, our careers, our friendships, our own sense of well-being. We post about the promotion, but not the anxiety and panic attacks that came with it. We post the gym results or the marathon finish line photo, but not the months of crushing loneliness in training it took to get there. We post the happy couple selfie, hiding the silent, tense car ride home that happened 2 minutes before. This isn't just being a private person. No. This is an active, ongoing performance. The psychological term for it is emotional masking or emotional suppression. You're hiding how you really feel to be more socially acceptable or to avoid being judged. So many of us are taught from a very young age that certain emotions are liabilities, and some families are just dark, twisted, and unhealed. Sadness is dramatic, anxiety is weak, and anger is unprofessional. So we learn to push it all down, to smile through the discomfort, and to answer "I'm fine" on autopilot. From a psychological standpoint, your brain isn't doing this to be deceptive. It's a form of self-preservation. It's trying to protect you from being seen as a burden, from conflict or rejection. It's a survival skill that works in the short term. It helps you function in places that don't feel safe enough for your real emotions. You need to wake the fuck up and understand that. You wear a mask because subconsciously you know your true thoughts and true nature aren't safe where you are or who you're with. And here's the truth. Emotions you consistently ignore don't just go away. They go into hiding. And the energy it takes to keep them locked up is insane. It's immense. Keeping up the facade of "I'm fine" isn't passive. It's a full-time job that you don't get paid for, and you're not allowed to quit. Every moment you spend with the wrong people becomes a performance. You're constantly scanning yourself. Is my smile believable? Is my voice upbeat enough? Do they know I'm just trying to fit in? I'll tear a person down because everyone else is, even though I actually like them. Think of your emotional energy like your phone battery. Every day, you wake up with a certain amount of charge. A normal day, with its usual ups and downs, will drain some of that. But when you're emotionally masking, you're running a second hidden operating system in the background at all times. And that system is doing one thing: suppression. It's filtering your words, managing your expressions, and holding back the flood of what you actually feel. This is called cognitive load, and it's the reason you can have a day where nothing really goes wrong and still end it feeling completely wiped out. And all that emotional labor has a physical price, because nothing is free in this life, even internally. When you suppress emotions, they don't disappear. The body keeps score. Your stress response system, which is only meant for short-term threats, stays switched on. This can lead to a whole bunch of physical symptoms that seem to come out of nowhere. Chronic muscle tension in your shoulders and jaw. That's your body literally bracing for a feeling you won't let out. Persistent headaches, digestive issues, getting sick all the time. All of it can be linked back to unprocessed emotion. That exhaustion isn't just in your head. Your body is carrying the weight of everything you refuse to say out loud. But maybe the most painful cost of this lie is the profound loneliness it creates. You can be in a room full of people who claim to love you and still feel alone because deep down you know, how could they? All the performing stops anyone from seeing the real you. The you that's struggling, that's unhappy, that needs help. This does nothing but build invisible walls between you and the people you want to connect with. You're a spectator in your own life, watching yourself play a part, and any praise you get feels hollow because you know it's not for you. It's for the mask. Over time, this will lead to a scary disconnect from your own self, which can lead to splitting and multiple personality disorder. You spend so much time pretending, you start to forget who you are when the performance is over. So, how do you cope when we're this exhausted and disconnected? You get busy. You get distracted. And this world we're currently living in offers a bottomless buffet of them. One of the most common distractions is just being busy. The endless to-do list isn't always a sign of a productive life. It's just a clever avoidance strategy. If you stay busy, you can outrun your feelings. Constantly moving, producing, and focused on the next thing keeps you from reflecting and the uncomfortable truth of what's going on inside. Social media is another tool for avoidance. It's easy to get lost in the curated lives of others. The endless scroll is a form of mental and emotional numbing. You're not relaxing, you're buffering. You're filling every moment with noise so you don't have to hear the silence. Beyond that, take your pick between binge watching an entire show in a weekend, working late every single night, over-exercising, turning to substances, using alcohol or something else to finally numb the feelings you've been holding back all day. All these behaviors serve the exact same purpose: to avoid being alone with your own mind. It's how you keep the mask on, even when you're by yourself. I can't stress enough how important it is to see these distractions for what they are: coping mechanisms. They're your mind's desperate attempt to manage an unmanageable level of suppressed emotion. These strategies only work for a little while. It's like taking an aspirin for a broken leg. They might dull the ache temporarily, but they do nothing to fix the actual problem. But where this lie gets truly devastating is when you bring it home to your most intimate relationships. Performing at work or with friends is one thing, but wearing a mask with a partner creates a special kind of emptiness. This does nothing but create unspoken resentment. The signs are subtle at first. It starts with dodging deep or vulnerable conversations. You stop talking about your fears, your disappointments, or the issues simmering just under the surface. You know a real conversation could lead somewhere messy, so you keep things light. You talk about your day, your errands, about what to watch on TV. You talk about everything except what's really going on. Then the physical distance starts to creep in. Intimacy becomes another performance, or you just avoid it completely. A hug might feel stiff. A kiss feels more like a routine gesture than a real connection. And before you know it, you're faking orgasms just to get it over with. A fading desire for physical intimacy is one of the clearest signs that you're just pretending to be happy. You might even feel a sense of relief when your partner leaves the house because you can finally breathe and be yourself. To avoid conflict, you might become overly agreeable. You just stop voicing your own needs or opinions because it's easier than starting a fight that doesn't produce any changed behavior. This isn't compromise. It's a slow surrender of self. You're gradually erasing yourself from the relationship just to keep the peace. And for what? Another person's happiness and comfortability, who could care less about yours? So you start fantasizing about a different life. Not necessarily with someone else, but just a life that feels like your own again, where you won't be judged, critiqued, or made fun of. A life where you don't have to perform. And social media applies so much pressure to perform happiness in a relationship. Meanwhile, shit is false and you're struggling. This creates a toxic loop where the appearance of a happy relationship feels more important than the reality of it. Here's the truth. Pretending to be happy to save the relationship is guaranteeing its failure. A real connection can't survive on pretense. It needs authenticity to live. By hiding how you really feel, you rob your partner of how you really feel and the chance to know the real you. More importantly, you're robbing yourself of the chance to be truly seen and loved for who you are, struggles and all. Caveat: if you are intentionally hiding the real you from your partner as a control tactic to keep them with you, but you are a completely different person with other people, living a two-faced double life because you know they wouldn't like the real you and would most likely leave you. 1, that's toxic and manipulative as fuck. And 2, that mask will eventually slip. So why are you prolonging the inevitable? It's selfish. You're getting something out of them. You don't want to lose, whether that be finances, personal labor, an ego boost, or emotional support. Whatever it is, you're using them, and you need to seriously recognize your own toxicity and healing that needs to be done. Now, if by chance this is turning some light bulbs on for you, and you're thinking, okay, great, I'm wearing a mask, and I have some pretty toxic ways. What am I supposed to do now? Have a public breakdown? Tell everyone my secrets. If your secrets involve lying on another person or hurting another publicly who didn't deserve it, then yeah. Speak up. Take accountability for your actions. When you're wrong, you're wrong. As for a public breakdown, people who have and use their own intuition, they already know you're fake as fuck, so just know that. But I would say if you want to truly change and be your true unmasked self, you cannot care what anyone else thinks about you. And you have to slowly and safely learn how to take it off, first and foremost, for yourself. The first step is the most powerful. Admit the truth to yourself. When you're alone, allow yourself to say the words, either out loud or in your head. I am not okay. Feel the weight of that honesty. You don't have to fix it yet. You don't need a 5-step plan. You just have to stop pretending to yourself. This is the only way to break the cycle of denial. From there, the next step is to create a small, safe space for your feelings. This does not mean venting on social media or blabbing to every person you think is your friend. Remember, they're friends with a fictional you. Find a private outlet, like a journal. Write down your true thoughts and feelings with no filter and no judgment. The angry, sad, and ugly thoughts. Don't worry, the page can handle it. The point isn't to write a masterpiece. It's just to give your hidden emotions a place to exist outside of your body. This whole process is tough, especially if you're a grown-ass big adult who's been conditioned to wear a mask your entire life. But it's about reclaiming your own inner world. You have to learn to be honest with yourself first, so you can eventually be honest with others. True strength isn't the ability to function while you're hurting in silence. It's the courage to acknowledge your own pain, your own unhappiness, and meet it with compassion. The goal isn't to be happy all the time. The goal is to be real. And in that realness, you'll find a much more sustainable, authentic, and far less exhausting way to live. So let me wrap this up. We live in a world that gives trophies for the performance of happiness. We're told to be resilient, to be strong, to just keep going. But somewhere along the way, we confused resilience with suppression. We mistook strength for silence. The lie of "I'm fine" is draining because it forces you to live a double life. The one everyone else sees, and the one you live with alone, late at night when the house is quiet and all the distractions have faded away. Here's a truth, and I want you to hear me when I say, you're allowed to not be fine. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to be sad, angry, or confused. At any age, at any stage in your life. Those feelings don't mean you're broken. They're a sign that you're human, and I'm here to help you become a better human. The journey back to yourself isn't about some sudden confession. It's a quiet revolution. It starts with being honest with yourself about where and why you are where you are in your life, and if you're truly happy. It continues by creating small, safe spaces where your true feelings can finally breathe. And if the people around you or the places you're at don't accept your true self, your true feelings, while it may be painful to you and them, you need to remove yourself or put boundaries in place to protect yourself. This isn't a path to a life without pain, but it is a path to a life without pretense. And a life without pretense is a life where you're finally free. Don't waste another ounce of your energy on performing when you could be using it for healing, connecting, and actually living. Trust me, it's worth it. I hope this got through to you today. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, friends, keep healing. See ya.